Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this video is about the next Xbox 720. It was inspired by a video put up yesterday, annotation on the screen. Some guy said, is COD going to continue to be the lead seller? I said, well, we'll have to see. Oftentimes there's a changing of the guard with new console releases. And they said, how can you be sure there's a new console at all? Let's talk. So, console news. I grabbed a long video so I could talk about a lot of this stuff. Ubisoft is the first person to announce that I know of, or at least first AAA title, that they're going to be developing an Xbox 720 game. And that's exciting to me. On a related note, they have two people helping them develop it that I wouldn't have expected. Check this out. They're French companies, French government organizations. One is the Atomic Energy and Alternative Energies Commission, and the other is the National Center for Scientific Research. They're helping Ubisoft develop their next game. I didn't know that government agencies like that got involved in private gaming stuff, but it kind of makes sense. The French want to be a place where this kind of job is offered. If you want to be a gaming programmer, you can do it here at Ubisoft here in France. So the French government is offering them a little assistance so that they can build a bigger gaming industry there. Whatever. But Ubisoft, partnering with some French government organizations, has announced that they're putting out a game for the Xbox 720. They haven't told us much about the game or the release date or anything like that. And that leads me to my next topic. One of the reasons you're not hearing much about the Xbox 720 is that Microsoft is putting kind of the kibosh on it. Microsoft is telling people that they're not allowed to be discussing the Xbox 720. If you look, though, the silence is deafening. There are almost no AAA titles scheduled for fall of 2013. Isn't that interesting? Do you find that interesting that, for the Christmas season, when all these big games drop, when all the AAA titles, come, no one scheduled one for next year? Do you think it's more likely that people aren't writing games anymore, or that they're targeting the next console version? To me, the answer is clear. So the silence is deafening, right? That's what that means. When they don't say things, they're saying a lot, and that's the deal. So, for Christmas of next year, we can expect three big consoles: the Steam Box, the PS4, and the Xbox 720. I'm excited about all of them. I'll probably get all of them. I'm kind of a hardcore gamer, right? I play on every platform. I haven't played on the Wii yet, but no hate, I just don't have it. But back on topic, we can expect it to come out. Related to this, Disney supposedly is going to break the talking date and announce some sort of big game for the Xbox 720 in January, which, as I make this, is only a couple days away. So, they might be the first people to be like, hey, we've got a game coming out. It's going to be a big deal, and it's going to be on the next console. So, so you might expect that. Pretty cool stuff to me. There is definitely going to be a whole new console revolution coming. If you're watching this a day or two after I make it, this year, the year of 2013. Next up, I wanted to talk about hardware and performance. So here's the deal. Gaming PCs are more powerful than consoles, period, right? If you're a console fan, just work with that. It is the life that you live. If you're a PC fan, go ahead, and brush your glorious Master Race long blonde hair. But there are things that make consoles competitive for a long time. There's a reason that 10 years later, the game you see in front of you is on an Xbox 360. It's it looks pretty good, right? It doesn't compare. It's 10 years old now with brand new gaming PCs, but they hold up pretty well, and this is why. Let me explain. And before I do, let me tell you a little bit about me. I have a master's degree in engineering. With a focus in computer science. I spent 20 years almost as a computer programmer, maybe 18 years or something. I'm not a games programmer, but it's an area in which I have a little bit of expertise, maybe more than an average teenager who makes Call of Duty videos. So here we go. When you code for something like an Xbox, then you know exactly what that hardware is going to be. When you code for a PC, almost anything could be in there, right? The chipset, it could be an Intel CPU, it could be an AMD CPU, it could be an NVIDIA graphics card, it could be an ATI graphics card, or some sort of integrated Intel on the motherboard graphics set. So when you don't know what's going to be in the CPU, there are patterns, right? They're common architecture patterns that people follow when they run into this situation in computer programming, and they create these layers of abstraction. And what that would be like in human terms is, instead of me telling the graphics card to do something, I tell you, and then you translate it into the graphics card's native language. That layer of abstraction, that layer of indirection in there, slows the code down. That's just the deal. And it makes my code better. If I didn't do that, then, it would be filled with bugs and complexity, and it would be difficult to maintain, and it'd be really hard. And then, anytime the graphics chip got improved, or I wanted to add another one to my suite of supported graphics cards, then I would have a million places to make change. Whereas with this layer of abstraction, instead of having a million changes to make, I just add another language to your vocabulary, and then every time I talk to you, you handle the translation for me, right? That's the thing. So what I'm getting at here is that coding for consoles is more efficient. You can squeeze a little more performance out of them because you know what's going to be in the box. Whereas on a PC, you don't necessarily know what's going to be in there, and so you have to have this layer of inefficiency to deal with all the possibilities of hardware combinations that could be in the box. So that's that. And then there's another thing too, which is on a PC, it's doing more things at once, right? Like when I'm playing Black Ops, my Xbox isn't really doing much but playing Black Ops. When I'm playing Battlefield 3 or Borderlands 2, games I play on the PC, then it's also running Skype, it's also checking email, it's running Windows, which is doing a whole lot of stuff. It has a lot of jobs to take care of, whereas that's not the case on a console. And that is why consoles, even though they're dramatically underpowered compared to a gaming PC, can hold their own for the first 5 years in terms of the looks of the game. People will forget this, but when the Xbox first came out, the general idea amongst the PC crowd was graphics don't matter, right? Dude, graphics don't matter. It's all about the gameplay, the fun, this and that. And it's because Counter-Strike was the big game of the time. And the graphics on the Xbox were better than the graphics on Counter-Strike, which was, I want to say old game without sounding like insulting, but it was a game that had a lot of longevity on the PC, and they were like, dude, I prefer Counter-Strike to Xbox games because of how it plays. Forget about this other nonsense. So what I'm saying is that this 8000 series mobile graphics chip from ATI that's going to be in the Xbox 720 might be underpowered compared to the best stuff you see in a gaming PC, but it should be just as fast for their first couple of years because it's doing nothing but running games, and it's you can code directly for it because you know what's going to be in the box. Last thing I want to talk about, I think, is the games that run on it. Someone said this to me. They said that the previous generation of consoles, they ran open world games. Like, that was the big thing. Dude, this game is from November 14th. I didn't know how to use that missile. Some people said that their open world games were like the big deal on the previous console. Whereas this time, like right now, the big deal on consoles is first-person shooters, and that the genre often changes when the games change over. That was an interesting idea to me, because in my head, like, the leader of the previous thing, at least on Xbox, was Halo, and then the leader this time around was Call of Duty, and that this basic notion of running around shooting people was an idea that persisted. That was going to be the big kind of game, no matter what. So that's all I have to say, I guess. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. You let me know. Do you think that something other than shooters is going to be the big deal? It's fun, or funny, I mean to say. Like, I like shooters. I like that they're a competitive game. I really like beating people who talk trash at the game. Like, that makes me feel good. But I don't always like the pressure that comes with shooters. Sometimes I feel like you don't just hop in and chill in a game like Call of Duty. It's more like pickup basketball. Like, everyone's trying to win. Everyone's doing their thing. There are some guys that do like 360 no scopes and don't care. But for me anyway, it's mostly about like trying super hard and doing your best. Sometimes I don't want that, right? Sometimes I want something closer to the Minecraft experience. And I wonder if the general, like, population of gaming is going to have that same sort of thought. If they start thinking stuff like, I'm done with trying hard all the time when I play games. I think I'd rather, have a game that's more relaxing. And maybe that general shift will happen with the next console. Maybe there'll be open worlds that we could never dream of on previous console titles, and now it'll be super cool or something like that. So I don't know. These are possibilities that are out there. It's good stuff. So yeah, there's your Xbox 720 news. It's almost surely going to drop on Christmas. It's going to have an 8000 series mobile processor, which is gaming performance plus, and that's going to be pretty good. I changed a drone to a counter UAV. That's going to be pretty good compared to gaming PCs for its first couple of years, and I'm psyched about it. If I were king, consoles wouldn't come out every 10 years. They'd come out faster than that. Like I don't know. I mean, look, for some people, they'd want to buy a new console every year because they're in that spot. Gaming's really important to them, and they have a budget for it. Some people would like to buy a console every 10 years and just have the thing run on forever. I'd like it more than 10 years, more frequently than every 10 years. I mean to say, I'd love some more games, but I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. I hope you learned something new, and have a good day. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to click on like. If you're new around here, you can subscribe in the top right. Here's 2 videos you may have missed. The left one is one where I sit here and I answer questions from my subscribers. And the right one's a weekly dual com I do with my wife. And it's always pretty good because she's pretty cool. Anyway, have a good day.